Hey guys, Davin Lim, board certified dermatologist. Today we'll be talking about devices which stimulate muscles. So this can be everything from home use devices such as microcurrent to all the high-end clinical grade devices such as M-Face and TriLift. So over the past few years, there's been a huge surge in devices, both home use as well as clinical use, to help stimulate facial muscles, improve circulation, as well as stimulate collagen, because a lot of these have an additional use called radio frequency, which also tightens but also increases both dermal collagen as well as elastin. So let's get straight into it. Home use devices are known as microcurrent devices. These are totally a different kettle of fish compared to the clinical use devices. So home use devices, can they work? The answer is sometimes it can work. I'm actually a big fan of microcurrent. It doesn't lift, it may firm. That's a very, very different scenario, because for home use devices, it provides a very, very low voltage of current. And what it does, it may give you some firming of your skin. It doesn't give you actual lifting of your skin. So when we're talking about skin lifting, skin tightening, skin firming, generally speaking, the two devices that are in use in 2023 include the M-Face from BTL, and then the TriLift, which is a device from Lumenis. So what are they? First of all, they are EMS devices, so electromechanical stimulation, or DMS, which is dynamic or direct muscle stimulation, depending on which company you're with. How do they work? Basically, I was a big skeptic, because when the first, reiteration of these devices came out, I'm like, how in the hell why do you want to actually stimulate your facial muscles? Because as dermatologists, plastic surgeons, and cosmetic physicians, what we do is that we want to relax muscles. So for example, if you've got forehead wrinkles or frown lines or lines around your eyes, what we do for the last 20 years is to use Botox, and Botox actually decreases the muscles itself by reducing dynamic muscle movement. So for example, if you frown a lot, it decreases your frown muscles. If you have forehead muscles with the horizontal lines, we are decreasing muscle action, and hence the dynamic muscles themselves actually relax. So when you're doing these treatments where you're stimulating muscles, my first thought is this is kind of silly, because it's counterproductive. Why are we stimulating the muscles that we've been Botoxing for the past 2 decades? And this is where it gets kind of interesting, because when we use these devices with the DMS technology or EMS technology, for example, your M-Face, your TriLift, what we're doing is we're targeting specific muscles. So what the devices do is that it targets the elevators of your face. So some companies, starting from the top down, stimulate your frontalis muscle, which is the muscle that's associated with forehead lines and creases. But what it does is that it stimulates it not in a dynamic way, it stimulates it to improve the resting tone. It's like going to the gym, building up your biceps, building up your triceps, and hence the resting tone of the muscles is better. In other words, it looks firmer. In this situation, when we increase the resting tone, in theory, it should lift. So when we talk about muscles, it's this, your frontalis. Some companies do the infraorbital muscles, right, around your eyelid area. And once we tighten up those infraorbital muscles, we can get some sort of lift around the lower lid. The other muscles include your elevators of your face and lip. And they include your risoris, your zygomaticus major, your zygomaticus minor, which also elevates your lip. So when we're specific, especially when we're targeting these muscles, what we want to do is that we want to stimulate those which elevate your face, especially around here in your cheek. And then what we don't want to do is to stimulate the muscles that depress your angles of your mouth and your face. So basically, it's selective stimulation of key elevators of your face to improve the resting tone of the muscle, which may give you a lift. Once again, I was extremely skeptical of this procedure, skeptical with the results, but I saw it firsthand. So once again, this is a disclaimer. I'm not here to promote one or the other device. I'm sure M-Face can have a good outcome. I was playing around with the DMS technology with TriLift. And what we did was we concentrated the energy around the elevators of the mouth, elevators of the cheek. In particular, risoris, zygomaticus major, zygomaticus minor. And we did this over a period of about 10-15 minutes, looking at both hitting the origin and insertion of the muscle, and we did get a really good lift. Now, how long does this lift last? We don't know. Generally speaking, you've got tightness that usually lasts between 24 to 48 hours and then it dissipates. So with most companies, whether it be Emphase, Trilif, etc., they advocate between 5 to 6 sessions, and they can be spaced out between 1 week apart to 2 weeks apart. And then that, in theory, can stimulate your muscles, but then what they say is that it's much like a gym workout for your face. Stimulates your muscles, improve facial tone, and hence everything looks and feels tighter. What these companies also offer on top of that include your RF or radio frequency. Radio frequency is a form of delivering energy into your deeper layers of your skin. So for example, when we start from the top down, RF or radio frequency can help increase dermal collagen, dermal elastin. It can produce immediate collagen contraction. Once it improves collagen contraction in the immediate sense, it can immediately firm up your skin. And hence that's why patients who have these treatments report instantly firmer skin. So from the top, hits your dermis, both in your papillary reticular dermis, so upper layers of your dermis, lower down of your dermis. When you go down, it hits the fibroseptal network of your fat. So it doesn't melt fat, unlike, for example, HIFU, but RF can actually contract the septae, in other words, the network that is surrounding your fat cells, and hence provide tightness with that. And then moving down from there, in theory, especially with monopolar RF, where it goes down deeper, that can help stimulate contraction of your, for example, your fascial layers, whether it be your superficial fascia, your deep fascia, and then down from that, your SMAS layer, which is basically enveloping the muscles. So when you're looking at deep heating of all these layers, you may get some immediate collagen contraction, and in theory, over multiple passes and over time, you may get some increase in collagen density. So coupled with increase in collagen density, better resting tone, this is how these devices provide a non-surgical facelift. How long does it last? We still don't know. So most of these companies advocate a series of between 5 to 6 sessions. They can be spread out over a period of 5 to 10 weeks. Most companies also suggest that we have this done maybe twice a year, but also space it out from there. So guys, this technology is super new, it's super exciting. Even a year ago, it's not available at all in Australia, and they were still talking about it with devices in the US. So I think they do play an important role for non-surgical skin tightening. They can be combined with different other modalities, for example, your HIFU, your high intensity focused ultrasound, and they can be combined with things like lasers and other energy devices. Will this work for everyone? The answer is absolutely not. As with all treatments, everyone lies on the bell curve. So you have people who are fast responders or hyper acute responders, and patients who are slow responders or don't respond at all. And hopefully, everyone, well, not everyone, but most people are in the middle. So once again, those who won't do well include patients who have a lot of sun damage, because instead of your collagen being loose, your collagen is fragmented. So once you have fragmented collagen, the chance of tightening is very, very slim. Patients with a really heavy lower face. So when I mean heavy lower face, we're talking about ligament laxity, but not only ligament laxity, we're talking about a thick layer, a subcutaneous layer, because when that happens, we can't actually lift because it's just too heavy. And then the genetic variation as well, together with ethnic variation. For example, we know that in darker skin type, the muscles, not only the muscles, but more importantly, the dermis and the collagen contracts a lot easier. So guys, I hope you like that really quick summary on the use of both home devices, but also clinical use of muscle stimulating technology. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll see you shortly.